Hey guys, before I get into this video, I just have I just have one thing with this that I want to stress. This is probably going to be the first bad review on this show that I've ever done, and I just want to stress to you guys. One, when when I do reviews, I don't go out looking for bad games. I go out and I play games, and I try to give my overall critique and opinion of them, but I don't in any way whatsoever specifically go out looking for bad games or go out looking to crap on them or anything like that. So believe me when I say that when I played this game in preparation for this review, I didn't play this specifically wanting to play a bad game or to look for anything bad with it. Okay, I just want to get that out of the way, and I just want you all to know that and understand that. So, with all that in mind, with all that out of the way, let us get into this review of Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest. And also the other thing, townsfolk in this game. Okay, I'm sorry, but they are not helpful at all whatsoever. The information they give you is cryptic at best. And trying to figure out what it is or what they're trying to hint at is difficult. And unless you have a guide, getting through the interactions with them, as well as figuring out some of the gameplay upgrades and things like that, is going to be difficult trying to figure out any of that by yourself. All right, so the story of Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest, picking up after the events of the first game. Once again, you are Simon Belmont, and your job is to eliminate Dracula once again. However, this time around, it's not quite as simple as going through a castle and fighting a bunch of monsters and things like that. No, I mean, yeah, you do fight monsters, but it's a bit more open world ish kind of. It's not completely open world, but it's how open world would have been perceived, back in the late 80s, early 90s on an early system or something like that. But basically, the basic gist of the story is that you're Simon Belmont. You have to fight not only Dracula's minions, but you also have to fight Dracula himself. However, in order to fight Dracula himself, you have to find the pieces of Dracula that are in different towns across the world. Now, it wouldn't be so bad uniting the pieces of Dracula and eliminating him if it was actually easy or whatever. But the thing is, it's somewhat difficult, it's somewhat cryptic, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, the story in and of itself is fine, but what's sad, one thing that hampers this game is it doesn't inherently tell you any of the things that you have to do in order to eliminate Dracula himself. So, unless you have a guide to get you through this, to give you the meat and potatoes of this, then figuring this out on your own is going to be somewhat difficult. So, with the overall looks and presentation of this whole thing, I mean, it's not that there's inherently anything bad about it. I mean, the visuals and the looks really aren't too much or too difficult of a stretch from how it was in the first game, but to me, it seemed like the designs, the color palette, the movement, and everything else in the first game to me seemed a bit more rich, a bit more organic, vibrant, and things like that. With this, it's like to me it just felt like all the towns and things you went into and whatnot seemed kind of samey and lackluster and things like that. I mean, yeah, some of the enemy designs here and there were interesting, and some of the boss designs were interesting and whatnot, but I mean, the further you went into the game, there was just nothing but sameness wherever you went. And now, the first game did have some repetition when it came to some of its things, but the repetition wasn't so crazy that it felt like you were taking crazy pills or pulling your hair out. With this, honestly, there were certain points where I was getting annoyed as crap about fighting enemies, about talking to NPCs or doing any of that sort of thing and whatnot. I mean, yeah, I did finish the game and I defeated Dracula and all that, but I mean, the road to it just it just wasn't fun, and overall, the all in all presentation of this game, in my opinion, just left a lot to be desired, and I didn't really feel any of the joy, the accomplishment, and the sense of satisfaction that I felt when I played the first game and come through its dark depths, defeated all the bosses, all the monsters, and got through the different sub items and got all the hearts and all that sort of thing. Okay, so the gameplay in this game isn't exactly too much of a stretch from how it was in the first game. However, when I first started this game, I noticed some things that were absent, like right off the bat. First off, your heart count, your sub weapon, and the weapon you had equipped. Now, one of the many good things about the first game was that it was simple, but it laid out everything for you as you needed it throughout the game and everything. But in this one, it's like you have to hit the start button in order to see what you have and everything like that. And that is one thing about this that upsets me, is the game doesn't tell you that you need to use the start button in order to get into it. I'm not gonna lie, there's kind of some unintuitiveness. I know that's not a word, but I don't care. But there's some unintuitiveness with the overall menuing, figuring out things, and learning how to navigate the menu and things like that. I'm not gonna lie, I strongly believe that the first game was a lot more user friendly when it came to, your weapon, your sub weapons, how many hearts you had, how many lives you had. Everything was there in front of you. It was coherent, and you could latch onto it and things like that. In this game, it's like you have to hit the start menu, you have to do this, you have to do that. I mean, it's in a way, it's kind of ridiculous with the menuing and everything. But the combat is at least as responsive as it is in the first game. And yeah, you do get chances to upgrade your weapon and whatnot. And if you get like the throwing knife or whatever, you can upgrade that also throughout the game. But once again, there is nothing to be user friendly or to initially tell you any of these things. Basically, a lot of the stuff, if you want any of the good stuff in the gameplay, basically it's trial by fire and trial by error when you're trying to harness exactly what sort of strategy you want to use to get from point A to point B. Okay, all in all, this game was a bit frustrating to me, was a bit annoying to me, and just, I don't know, kind of left me in want, kind of left me thinking when I finished the game, I was just like, well, is there any more to it than this, or is this it? I mean, yeah, there are speedruns of this game, there are let's plays and things like that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just not, the intended audience, the intended person that is meant to, play this or get through it or anything like that. But I did not have fun. I just did not have a good time when I played this. Now, look, if you want to go out and you want to give this game a try, you know what? Fine. Okay, that's totally okay, and that's totally your prerogative. But I just played through this, and in my humble and personal opinion, the first game was so good. I had a lot of fun. I have nothing but good moments and good memories with it. But this, just the drab color palette, the predictableness of things, the sameness and repetitiveness of certain things. I mean, it just really got to me, and I don't know, it just really left me in want, and I just, like I said, if you want to give this game a try and if you have a good time with it, you know what, that's fine. But this game just isn't my cup of coffee. So, those are my thoughts, and those are my overall opinions on Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest. So, for those of you who have checked this out, let me know what you thought about this down in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to head on over to the channel and check out other videos we've done. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!